I like Apple. I know, it's unexpected with the background of my channel talking about custom ROMs, but hear me out. I swear I can explain. Now, as you may know or probably don't, I got an iPad Pro 2017 and all I can say in this video is this thing is a beast and gave me a taste of what Apple can really do. Like, this thing is just great. At 120 Hz IPS LCD screen, this screen steals the show. The battery is worn out since I bought it used, but still holds a decent charge and I could always just replace the battery anyway. It also has a 4K 30 FPS camera, Lightning USB 3 and 4 stereo speakers. I can only raise my hand and say Apple is good. It was like that Thanos meme of Thor feeding Thanos something, then realizing how good it actually is. For example, PC gaming. That was me, and I kind of want more. But the moment I wanted more, I saw this monstrosity. So I had to hold it off for a bit. And funny enough, it's still going on. Anyway, I'm going off track, but yes, Apple is better. But I want to add a clause to that. It's better, but it's not worth the full price that they ask for. Case in point, the iPhone 15e.
This is iPhone 16e.
Now, this phone was released all the way back in February of this year, and it's supposed to be the middle option, effectively replacing the SE, 14 and the Plus. For a whopping $600, you get a mono-eyed camera, 6.1-inch HDR phone screen without the dynamic island of course, and the screen is still stuck at 60 Hz with this fun little comment I just couldn't help but giggle at. Now, if you have never tested anything beyond 60 Hz, I cannot even describe what you're missing out on. Like literally, it's so night and day. Even just 90 Hz, which is actually the refresh rate of my current phone, it's so insane and so smooth. Literally so smooth. I can't even describe it. Anyway, the 16e also got 1 GPU core less of the 16, with 4 GPU cores and the 16 having 5. It also lacks the MagSafe magnets. I could honestly just make a full video on how the phone is a ripoff, but I will make my point here. This is not a good deal. It's mainly a phone you buy just for the brand and nothing else, as it's really not a good deal nor a budget alternative like the SE, which is actually replaced by this. So it begs to ask, who is this for? Now, I believe this is where Apple actually falls. High prices, but value does not match, and this is where the second-hand market comes into play. You can get really good deals online for the old Pros and the Pro Maxes in good conditions, and especially for the discounted price. With the full benefit of Apple, especially if you can get the high versions like the Pro and the Pro Max, you're pretty much sorted. You get the best of the best while saving some few dollars, which, if you're the type to get the devices yearly, it actually adds up quite a lot eventually. But all in all, Apple as a brand is really good. Like, their specs and offerings are top notch, but I cannot find it in me to splurge close to $600 and hell, over $1,000 for their current devices. My iPad Pro was old, but it was also gold despite being second-hand. I love the thing and it has brought me newfound appreciation for Apple as a whole, despite how they operate and do things. Even despite the walled gardens and Apple treating their users like children who can hurt themselves with their $1,000 toy, I am still appreciative of what Apple can do when they put their minds into it. All in all, I'm interested to explore more and to enjoy this new tech space, and I advise you to do the same, whether you want to pay full price or dip your feet slowly into Apple with an offering from someone who has enjoyed their devices and now want to pass it on for someone else to enjoy and get something out of it, like money. It's your choice. I'm not going to hate either way, whether it's Apple or Android. It's all technology that is meant to serve us, not to divide us. And I can just say we have really good offerings. I can't begin to describe, like, Apple as a whole, especially their phones and their tablets, which is actually different OSs. But something I just couldn't get myself into for some weird reason was the Mac OS. Like, if you're familiar with the Linux operating system, you know that macOS is quite similar to the GNOME interface, which in itself is not really bad, but how Apple is, they actually take advantage of the OS and manage to just push out something that takes full advantage of the system while maintaining their battery and not sacrificing on performance for a single bit. I'm going to give an example. Like, let's say if you have a MacBook plugged in, the same performance that you get plugged in is the same performance you get while plugged out. Of which for Windows, it's not really possible. You can set it as such, but your battery will get a huge hit. Like, it will be so significant and you'll barely last like 2 hours off the charger. So something I also have to just give credit for to Apple is how they take their OS and they integrate it in such a way that's so efficient and just so it works really, really flawless. I cannot just pass by that because it's really impressive. Like, for example, the 16E, despite having a 4000 milliamp hour battery, the battery life is also quite significant and also just beats out some of the competition who have a little bit larger battery. Like, it's so really interesting to just take note of that, and it's something I just have to give it to Apple. They've really gotten it down to a T. The integration of the OS, performance, and the battery life, something Android cannot come close to, or even Windows. But their OS is just not really for me. I can't get myself to use it, but I have a feeling eventually I'll just get over it because the performance that you get is really, really significant, especially for the M chips. You get it so you just have something that's a beast, and you don't have to upgrade, you don't have to do this and that. It just works, which has always been the motto for the Apple system and the Apple fans. And so with that, I believe that's the end. I've covered everything because I just wanted to talk about it because it's actually interesting and it actually holds up if you look at it well, and you'll know that it's actually true that Apple is really good if you're not splurging all of the money. Like, let's say if you're buying used, so I believe it actually helps and you'll benefit much more other than buying new and spending all that money just for basically a phone or a tablet or an iPad or a MacBook, all those things. So I believe you can actually benefit a lot from the used market. It's no different than buying new, except maybe the parts are old and you may need to replace it, something like your battery. And other than that, you're getting something really good, something decent, and I highly encourage it. So with that, thank you, and if you enjoyed, like and subscribe. You'll help out the channel, and we are almost at 200 subscribers. We're at, I believe, 160. So if you subscribe, you're actually helping my channel grow, and I'll really appreciate it. And with that, thank you for watching. You can watch this other video here on the top of on your screen actually. And yeah, see you there. Goodbye.